Hi everyone, this is Josh Kulp. We are learning Daf Shevui. We are on Daf Nun Daled of Masechet Gitin, and I hope everybody is having a wonderful Chag Sukkot. I understand it's a little rainy in America. It is still quite hot here in Israel. The holidays were made in Israeli weather, not for more American or North American weather. So hopefully next year you will come to Israel. All right, I wanted to go over a little bit about something in the beginning of this daf that is a machloket between Abaye and Rava, a dispute between Abaye and Rava in an interpretation of the difference in a Braita. Okay, so after the Mishnah, this is sort of on the second half of the daf. We have a Braita that says if somebody is making pure things with somebody else, and he says to him, the pure things that I was making with you have become impure, or was doing sacrifices with him, and he says that they were rendered unfit to be sacrifices, he's believed. But if he says the pure things that I did with you on a certain day became defiled, or the sacrifices I did with you on a certain day became rendered disqualified for use, he's not believed. And of course, we have to figure out why in case one is he believed, and why in case two is he not believed. And that's the answer, the question that Abaye and Rava answer. So Abaye says, Kol shebiyado ne'eman. So Abaye says a person's believability comes from the fact that he could actually do this. So as long as like the pure things are still, let's say, on the table, or the sacrifices are on the table, why would he lie when he could just do that right now? If he was trying to say that your stuff is impure and he was lying about it, well, he doesn't have to lie about it. He could just defile it right now himself, or render the sacrifices unedible or unusable. And so therefore Abaye says, look, the power to be believed comes from the power to do something. All right, now Rava says, now we have to imagine that Rava disagrees with Abaye, and Rashi points out that that is true. Rava says, even if he can't do something, he still might be believed. And what is the case? So Rava says, Kagon da ashkache, he finds him, velo amarli, velo midi. And he doesn't say anything, and then later on, he comes to say something. So that's a little fishy, right? When, let's say, the owner of the pure things finds this other person who's working with him, and the person says nothing, so why didn't he say anything? But if he says something later on, right, and if he says it later on, then he's not going to believe. However, notice that Rava would say, let's say, two people are making something food on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, Joe finds Shimon. Yosef finds Shimon. And Shimon says, oh, by the way, the stuff that I made with you yesterday was really defiled. According to Abaye, he wouldn't be believed because it's no longer in his hands. But according to Rava, he would be believed because that's the first opportunity, evidently, that Shimon had to tell Yosef that his stuff had become defiled. Only if he doesn't tell him on the first opportunity and he tells him later on, is he not going to be believed. So again, to Rava, it doesn't matter that he could or could not do the defiling right now. What matters to Rava is whether he acted in a suspicious way. Rava, I would say, grants more believability to the person who says the other person's stuff was defiled or somehow ruined, whereas Abaye limits it very strictly to only being at the point, right? At that point, there's actually even not really, when you think about it, not really an issue of believability. Right? If I'm with your stuff right now and I say I made it defiled and I am currently defiled, well, I have the ability to do it. It's not a matter of believing me, right? As long as that I am currently impure, all I have to do is touch your stuff. So there's no reason for me to lie. And Abaye would say, like, anytime later on, you're not really believed. You're only believed when you have the power to do the act right now, which is really not a high level of credibility. Rava gives him a higher level of credibility, but limits that to a case where he didn't do something suspicious. Okay, I hope that helps. I hope you're having a Chag Sameach, and look forward to continuing learning with you on Daf Shevui throughout the rest of the year.